Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3 WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Oh, man. The Lakers and Sixers birth hurting like a hoopty. But what's worse? Which loss is worse as a fan?
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
What does that mean, Kobe Bryant?
Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
What a wonderful Tuesday, man. What a wonderful TNT Tuesday. We got a great lineup of NBA games coming up tonight, but I don't think anything can compare to what we got last night in the NBA. We were all complaining about how game one of round one in the NBA was a bunch of blowouts, a bunch of unwatchable games where it was one-sided. Teams were leading wire to wire. All the home teams won. But last night, we got the same thing in that the home teams won. I'm not sure if anybody watched the Cavs Magic game, but if you were wondering, yes, the Cavs are up now 2-0 over the Magic NBA TV series. Means really less eyes on that game. But for the two games that we did get, boy, did they deliver. Ooh, I can only imagine if you are a fan of the Lakers or if you are a fan of the Philadelphia 76ers, what it must feel like today on this Tuesday evening. Just trying to find the words, find the proper mentality to go through this day with, coming off of what were two historic wins for the other teams and also colossal collapses. And I think it's only fair that we start with what happened at Madison Square Garden, but we won't start with the Knicks call. I want to lead you guys into this one with the Philadelphia 76ers call. The Sixers were down 1-0 in this series, but they were leading at Madison Square Garden by 5 points. They were leading 101-96. A 5-point lead with about 40 seconds to go in the game. So if you're a fan that's watching, rooting for the Sixers, you're in good spirits, you're feeling good, you think your team's about to win, and especially for the commentators, apparently for the home broadcast, well, I'll let you take a listen. This is from the Philadelphia 76ers TV network.
Getting home court advantage by winning one of the two games on the road. Job done. Let's head down to the Turnpike.
Lowry splits him. Stay tuned, post-game live. It's going to be fun.
I don't know if you just heard that. Again, 40 seconds left. 40 seconds left in that game. The Sixers up by 5. Kyle Lowry splits some free throws. They have a 5-point lead, and that was the Sixers home broadcast team not just promoting their post-game live, which is going to be a rocking time. It's going to be a ball. We're going to have a party. Like, that was a nice free promo, huh, C-Cat? Like, that was pretty cool of them to give themselves that free promo ahead of time. Are you excited to see what that post-game live was like?
You split two in the Garden? I'm excited to watch the post-game show. Get ramped up for Game 3, of course.
I love a good split. Only, sorry to break it to you, but how about we take a listen to our team at ESPN New York, our teammates over there at ESPN New York, where they had their call over the next 30 seconds, and the Knicks, well, they rained on the Sixers parade.
Loose ball picked up by DiVincenzo. Circling at the top of the arc. Into the corner. Brunson, pump fake, three-pointer, left side front rim. Gets the roll! Three-pointer is good. It's a 2-point game. Knicks down 2 with 27 seconds to go. Inbound is knocked away by Maxey. Gets the ball back, falls to the floor, stolen by Hart. DiVincenzo three-pointer, no good. Hartenstein, the offensive rebound. He kicks it out to Anunoby. DiVincenzo again. Knocks it down! Knicks lead! 13 seconds to go! Timeout, Philadelphia!
This is unreal. You talk about a team that refuses to quit and has been saying since the last dozen games of the regular season, as loud and proudly as anyone who will listen, we will find a way.
And that they did. That call, courtesy again, ESPN New York, Pat O'Keefe and Monica McNutt, friend of the show. Well, what an amazing call. What an incredible finish, but what an undesirable finish if you're a Sixers fan. Straight up demoralizing and sad. And you know what? If you went to sleep at that point like I did that night, last night, you probably thought, man, it can't get much worse than that. Like, if you're a Sixers fan and you feel that pain, that angst, you see that Joel Embiid is laboring up and down the court, giving you all he's got. Tyrese Maxey, who came into the game questionable. He came into the game questionable, and I think he hit like 3 straight threes right out of the gate. Like, you got exactly what you needed in that game as a Sixers fan. You felt like you were on the precipice of a win. In fact, if you were watching that Sixers home broadcast, you had it in the bag. They pretty much wrapped it up. You were excited for the post-game live show. Well, sadly, not just for the Sixers fans, but maybe it's more relaxing and more comforting for Sixers fans afterwards, is what would follow when the Lakers played at the Nuggets. So the Sixers go on and lose that game. Knicks up 2-0. They're going to move that series to Philadelphia. They have to regain their wits about them. Let's move on to Lakers-Nuggets, because Lakers-Nuggets, to me, was the more demoralizing and devastating loss. And if you want to tell me which one you like better, you can hit me up on Twitter at Theo Dorsey TV. I put a poll out there right now, and the Lakers are currently leading 88% of people picking the Lakers as the more demoralizing loss, and I can kind of understand why. In the Lakers game, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, D'Angelo Russell, of all people, who tied a Lakers franchise record with 3 points made. He had 6 3-pointers made in the first half, 18 points at the break. The Lakers led by as many as 20 points with about 10 minutes left in the third quarter, and then we saw it all go to waste. The Lakers then collapse in that lead. They single-team Nikola Jokic down the stretch, and he continues to brutalize them on the inside. Anthony Davis, who had about 30 points at the break, he didn't really score much after that. I think he didn't score at all in the fourth quarter, and it all ended with when LeBron James, the Lakers and Nuggets were tied at 99 all. LeBron James misses a three-pointer at the top of the key, and then on the other side, it is Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray, who gets a switch onto Anthony Davis and hits a game-breaking, game-winning buzzer-beater shot for the Nuggets, and you can listen to that one courtesy of TNT. Kevin Harlan on the call.
Denver with the timeout. We are tied.
I love it. Don't call it. Tie ball game. Worst can happen. We go to overtime.
Murray makes a move. They're down. The Nuggets have won.
Jamal Murray was 9 for 24 on the night. You kept him in check all night long. I believe going into the fourth quarter, he was still in single digits. He ends the game with 20 points. But most importantly, that jumper over Anthony Davis, a 15-footer, the first ever game-winning shot in the playoffs for the Denver Nuggets. And it is incredible to have back-to-back games like that in near must-win situations for both the Lakers and the Sixers, and to see them both go down in games where you thought you had it wrapped up. To me, watching it as a fan, as a bystander, because I'm just a fan of the league at this point, the Heat aren't playing. I don't have to see the Heat get their tails whooped until, tomorrow night, right? That's what's going to happen at TD Garden. I know that's coming soon. I don't have to wait and watch that one. I can watch last night's games very objectively as a fan that just loves electric moments, but it's hard for me not to kind of have my heart out for the fans of those two teams. But more specifically, I think that this loss was much more devastating if you're a Lakers fan. And mainly the number one reason why, the Los Angeles Lakers' only chance to win maybe a game, but especially to have a chance in this series, was last night. You got a perfect game from a guy like D'Angelo Russell. Anthony Davis had everything working from the mid-range in the first 3 quarters. He was actually making Nikola Jokic work on the defensive side of the ball, something that you don't see him do enough when the Lakers face the Nuggets. But not just losing in that fashion for the Lakers, but also having that be the 10th straight loss. And then after the game, when you get a guy like, Anthony Davis, who poured his heart out on that court, you don't even know, with a guy like this, there's a question of how much he's going to be able to compete in back-to-back games. Last year, the running joke on Anthony Davis was bet the unders after he has a great game. Well, this is 2 straight good games out of Anthony Davis for the Lakers, and you have 0 wins to show for it. And the only thing that comes of it is his post-game presser, which I do think this is going to be some electric stuff for the Denver Nuggets. Like, how do you not, if you're the Denver Nuggets, now every single time Jamal Murray hits a big shot, every time he has a big game, any kind of big highlight, how do you not just go right to this one?
Jamal Murray made a shot.
That's Anthony Davis after the game, C-Cat. Like, how if you're him, I get it. You are distraught. You had one of the worst losses of your career to a team that you actually hate, you despise. And then you give him this?
Jamal Murray made a shot.
If you're on the Denver Nuggets social media team, how often are you going to the well on that one?
You know, it's a big day for Paul George, right? Because I think that supplants it's a bad shot. I don't care if Dame Lillard hit that game winner, that buzzer beater in front of his Portland crowd. It's a bad shot. That was the new version of that with Jamal Murray. He made a shot. What do you also want me to say?
It's tough because I know that the reporter who asked the question was trying to provide themselves some color so that they can fill up their game story, their report, and be able to like outline exactly what happened on the play, which it looked like the Nuggets had a double screen and Murray flared off of it. He got to his spot. He kind of got a step back on Anthony Davis, and all that length AD has, he couldn't get to it, right? There was a breakdown that the reporter was wanting, but what the reporter got was
live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studio.
Fat fingers.
Come on, man. I'm trying. Look, theoretically speaking, obviously, as you guys know, it's a new show here with me and C-Cat. I told him, I said, today I'm going to be the one to punch the buttons. I'm a TV guy in a radio seat, and here I am talking about demoralizing losses for the Sixers and for the Lakers, and I can't even hit a dang
Jamal Murray made a shot.
button right. What the hell is going on? It's rubbing off on me.
Second time's a charm. You got it.
But this is what I mean. This is what I mean when I say that the Sixers loss, though it is bad, it's nowhere near as tough to swallow as a fan of the team than it is for the Los Angeles Lakers. Not just because it's against the defending champs, but the feeling of inevitability, the feeling that the Nuggets are going to beat the Lakers anyway going into this series. That was all the talk around it. It was so bad that before the series, you had guys like Mike Greenberg coming out on national ESPN shows saying the Lakers should tank the play-in game to avoid this team. And then you get into two straight battles with the Nuggets, both of them on the road. In game one, you have a 10-point lead. In game two, you have a 20-point lead. And both of them, you end up empty-handed. Now you got to go back to L.A. with a demoralized team with Anthony Davis.
Jamal Murray made a shot.
Walking out on press conferences early, and with a guy like LeBron James, who, again, is in his 21st season. He's longer in the tooth. How many more of these kind of games can he endure up against a guy like Nikola Jokic, who just feels like it? Nikola Jokic, to me, feels like if AI created a basketball player. He feels like always making the right play. Everything is slow and steady and methodical, right? And if you leave him too much space, he's going to pull that really slow slingshot jumper on you, and it's so butter. Anything near the rim, his touch is so great on it. I'll never forget, just like last year in the NBA Finals when the Heat were battling up against that dude, and you're happy because you got Bam Adebayo, right? One of the most versatile and great defenders that the league has seen, similar to how the Lakers have Anthony Davis. And the way that the team, the Denver Nuggets, not just Jokic, but what Murray did to AD last night, makes you feel so helpless on defense. That loss, when you had one on their home court, it just feels so much more like it swipes away your joy. Like Anthony Davis looks like a guy with a broken spirit right now, and it's sad.
The thing is, though, coming into both of these series, both the Knicks series and the Knicks and 76ers and the Lakers Nuggets, the Lakers have been kind of, whether they like it or not, are used to losing to the Nuggets, right?
Yeah.
These both iterations of these teams, the Nuggets have clearly had their number, and the Nuggets have had everybody's number the past couple of years. But it felt like coming into this series from a national perspective and from a 76ers perspective, they almost underestimated the Knicks. They didn't really respect what they were doing. We didn't really respect the Knicks to expect them to have a 2-0 lead going back to Philly. That's why I think the Philly loss might feel more devastating, because you might come to realize, I guess we were kind of seeded this way for a reason. I know Embiid was hurt for a lot of the season, but maybe we are the big underdogs.
Well, and that's the thing. That's what Philly has to look itself in the face and answer. Now, after the game, Embiid said verbatim, like, we're the better team. We're going to win this series. And I still do think the reason why Philly has a little bit more leeway to feel better about this loss is because when you look at your team and the way they executed and what you weren't able to get out of your role players, you hope that taking it back home, you do find more juice in guys like Buddy Hield and whatnot. But if you're the Sixers, you still feel like you have the better team. You also feel like you won that game. It just got swiped from underneath you so swiftly. But I'm curious. I say it's definitely the Lakers that had the most devastating loss. Hard to bounce back from. You're going up against a tougher opponent, and it's the 10th straight time you've lost to this team. And I know you guys hate the Nuggets because of all of the chanting and the back and forth that you had between, Mike Malone and Jokic and everybody in the championship parade last year. Anthony Davis talking about how him and LeBron chomping at the bit to be able to play these guys again. Well, there you have it. You had your chance to play them, and it ended like this.
Jamal Murray made a shot.
The Lakers' loss easily way more devastating than the loss that the Sixers suffered at Madison Square Garden. You let us know what you think here on Theoretically Speaking by jumping in on the Baptist Health Hotline. That's 888-760-3776, 888-760-3776 to join us on the Baptist Health Hotline. Which loss is tougher to swallow as a fan? The way that the Sixers lost, up by 5 points, 30 seconds to go, you got the game in the bag, and they swiped the rug right from under you. Or the Los Angeles Lakers, up 20 against the defending world champs, the same team that swept you out of the conference finals last year, but that lead whittles away. It was almost like death by 1,000 cuts, the way that Jokic and that Denver offense found a pocket, found a way to be efficient against that Lakers defense, and then right at the end, a game winner, Murray over AD, that one's got to suck. 888-760-3776, 888-760-3776. That's the number for the Baptist Health Hotline to join the show. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. Who took it on the chin tougher? Who is it going to be harder to bounce back from between the Lakers, who fall at the hands of the defending champs, or the Philadelphia 76ers, who couldn't find a way to close it out on the road against the Knicks with Stephen A. Smith courtside? I mean, do you know how great the memes would have been of Stephen A. kind of face in hand, sad, watching the Sixers still won at Madison Square Garden, but instead it ended like that in that prolific fashion? Like, if you're a Sixers fan right now, you got to be a little down in the dumps. But for Lakers fans, it's got to feel like your season's pretty much wrapped up. I don't see them getting a better performance than that. CCAP, but you're definitely saying the Sixers should feel worse about their loss to the Lakers.
Yeah, I feel like you can stomach those games that just slip out of your hands, like that turnover late, the back-to-back threes. You can stomach those in the regular season, but you only have so many chances to have a team on the ropes in their home building, going back home the next day to take back home court advantage, as you heard the Philly broadcast team think that they were in the process of doing. And just like that, you just pour it down the drain. So I think it's got to be the Philly loss. That is more devastating to me.
It's tough. It's a tough one to swallow as a fan, and thankfully as a Heat fan, I just got to enjoy the games objectively last night. Another team that's let a few of them slip away, but maybe they'll pick up some more wins if you're in the house, is the Miami Marlins. The Miami Marlins this coming Friday could be a Fiesta Friday for you if you want to go out to Lone Depot Park and check the Marlins out. Kick off the night at our new Fiesta Fridays presented by Budweiser. You can get $5 beers. You get fiery 305 eats. And, of course, with every single event in South Florida, sports or even entertainment related, you got to have a little party to it in the post-game Miami-style Hora Loca. Hora Loca. Did I say that right, CK?
Yeah, I think you got it.
I'm pretty close on it. Get your tickets now at marlins.com/Fridays. Or if you're up for the Saturdays, you can do the same. And again, the experience isn't just about how well the team does out there on the diamond. Sometimes it's about what you can get around the game. There's some epic content on the West Plaza after the game on Saturdays, and all season long at Lone Depot Park. You can show up and show out, get into the colors and the culture, bring your flags, bring a taste of what you have to the park, as well as leave with some delectable eats, some good drinks, and watch some good baseball. Miami Marlins Baseball, Marlins.com/Fridays to get Friday tickets, or Marlins.com/tickets to get tickets in general. When we come back, Caitlin Clark got the bag, and I do have to finally discuss what happened with the Miami Heat team. Not the loss, but what the players were found doing after the Game 1 loss against the Celtics. We do have to break it down. You guys got caught on camera. We'll speak on that and more. C-Cat and Theo Dorsey, theoretically speaking, on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hey, it's your boy JC. Good news.